What's up, everybody? From Wealth Webinar to your house, we are back at it. But today we are going to be talking about stocks. Aren't they a pain in the ass when you got to pick stocks and try to figure out what you're going to buy and what's the right one and what's the wrong one and when to sell it and when to do this and when to do that? You're just ready to be done with stocks altogether. And you're just like, here, somebody else take control of this thing and do it. That's the wrong decision. You need to be in control of your money, but you just have to have the right technology and the right knowledge to be able to find the winners, know when to enter, know when to exit, because you know how Warren Buffett talks. He says, you got to know when to buy, when to sell. And that means buy low, sell high, and don't lose money. Well, that's exactly what Scott's going to talk about with Metastock. So Scott, welcome to the Wealth Webinar series.
Thanks so much, Chris. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, hey, man, this is your time. So let's show everybody how to do what everybody thinks is super difficult. And they think they need to hire an advisor and pay 1% to 2% management fees just to be able to do what they can do themselves by changing just a few little things and adding a few pieces of technology in which you're going to talk about. So I'm excited about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. Metastock, we'll dive into it a little bit more and show everybody how to make some, find the right trades, whether you want to trade crypto or if you want to trade stocks, futures, Forex, whatever you're into, and we'll kind of dive into that. So we're pretty excited. I appreciate the opportunity of coming on. I mean, met you and holy cow, could there be a cooler life that anybody has lived besides you? I don't think so. So, I mean, I'm just boring. I mean, I'm 20 years into software and things like that. But man, after talking with you, I remember getting off the phone. I'm like, that guy's got it figured out, man. He has got it figured out.
I've always just chased my dreams, man. That's it.
I love it.
When people told me I couldn't do something, it just fired my ass up and I just went after it.
Yeah. And you can tell the success that you have from all different walks of life and so many things. So it's pretty cool. We really appreciate being here. Yeah, thank you. If you can, I go ahead and share my screen now and kind of dive in. Okay, cool.
Okay. Perfect. Yep, we can see it.
Okay, can you see that screen right there?
Yep, finding the right strategy for you. Correct.
Awesome. So we're going to begin and talk a little bit about trading and Metastock, money, and really, you know, how you can take control of your financial freedom and try and become better at this. So obviously, anytime that we do a presentation, anything in this industry, you always are lucky that the attorneys create all these for us. So go ahead and take a gander at that. I know, Chris, you understand that. That's just the way of the world now. So
yeah, those SEC attorneys basically tell us we can't do anything or say anything. So we just got to put this disclosure up saying everything we do is not true. But
that is exactly right.
Not really the case, but
so true. Appreciate that. We're going to talk quickly, innovative market analysis. We're better known as Metastock. We've been around for almost 40 years. And so obviously, if you're sitting there at home, you're thinking, hey, 40 years, that's a big deal especially in the technology world. We've been around as long as a Microsoft or anyone like that. We were bought by Reuters in 1996, hundreds of thousands of customers and in over 97 countries throughout the world. And so, you know, kind of a really big deal there. Task software, which is kind of the big deal in our industry, it's technical analysis of stocks and commodities. The readers have voted us as the best software 28 years in a row. I know that sounds pretty crazy and corny and cheesy all at the same time, but it is. It's awesome because it's the readers that know what's going on. And so we're going to talk a little bit about this. So if you're interested in trading stocks, bonds, commodities, futures, crypto, options, whatever it is, everything I'm going over today, you can actually do all of this analysis yourself. And so it's pretty cool. So I guarantee you've heard of someone like a John Bollinger who created Bollinger Bands and things like that. And as you can see here, Metastock allows you to trade faster, smarter, and with more confidence.
Scott,
As
that's
a result,
exactly what I would expect John Bollinger to look like. I never saw a photo of him, but
yeah,
that's
right,
perfect.
right. He's enjoying retirement life now. I think he's in Newport Beach and just really living it up. But you're right. Anyone in this industry, Chris, looks like that. Very buttoned up and very yeah. I mean, this is the way it is. Very technical would be a good way of putting it. So obviously these are, an individual that is really at the peak of this industry, and we have so many of these individuals that use this. We have so many big banks around the world that use our software. So you found someone that has that credibility that's talking to you today. This is not a fly by night company, get rich quick scheme. This is, individuals that have been using this software, and again, 97 countries, hundreds of thousands of clients. 25% of our business is actually institutional clients, and those are big banks again around the world. So this is a great quote. This is the founder of Investors Business Daily, and he says there are only two emotions when trading: fear and greed. The problem is we experience these emotions at the wrong times, and we end up buying when we should be selling and selling when we should be buying. And that's the truth. How many times have we done that where, oh, okay, the market's, cutting underneath us. The Great Recession was a good time to bring this up because, hey, it's dropping. And so we freak out, we sell, at the low, and then, oh, the market recovers and we're buying at the high again. And that's not something that any of us obviously want to do, but you saw this too when we went into, um, when we had the issues with the shutdowns with the coronavirus back in March, right, of 2020. The market dropped so hard, and there was not a better time to come in strong at the market. And the people that did that made a lot of money. There's no question. It was interesting. I set my son and his friends down. They didn't have any school. You're talking, these are seventh graders. And I was making them listen to me lecture them about, guys, I'm putting hundreds of thousands in the market right now. This money within a year will pay for this house. And you see those types of things that happen, and it happens all the time. There's people that make money in the market, and there's people that lose money in the market, and I've done both for sure. But as you learn to use your, don't let your emotions take advantage of you. When the market drops, that can absolutely be an advantage to you. But there's no guarantees, right? There's no guarantee that the market wouldn't be dropping more, but we look historically at it. And that's what we do with Metastock is we're looking at the importance of a plan. We're looking at the importance of trading, really looking at the idea of what's my goal. Do I want this money for retirement? Do I want this money to buy a car? Do I want this money for my kids' college education? Whatever it is, or do I want to retire early? That's what you got to know. And you've got to become disciplined. You can't just throw stuff out there and say, hey, I'm trading this and, it's going well. I always love to tell the story of the guy that buys a stock at $10. He's, pretty excited about it. It goes up to $15. He's made 50%. He thinks he's, the stuff. It goes up to $20. And what is he telling everyone, his coworkers? He's like, I don't even know why I work here. I'm the best trader ever. You know what I mean? We're going out for dinner every night and doing all these things. Well, then the stock drops down to $15, but this individual saw it 20. So they're, even though they could even still make 50%, they're holding on because heck, it's going to go to 20 or more. And then it goes to 10, then it goes to 8. Now they've lost money. Their coworkers asking them, hey, when when are you leaving? I want your office. And what do they say instantly? I'm in it for the long term. They're no longer a trader, they're a long-term investor because they're losing. So you got to be careful and you want to know what's going on. What you want to do is you don't want to look at investing as gambling. You want to put the odds in your favor. And there's a lot of things I'm going to do today and show you in the software. The last thing I'm just going to say is technical analysis, and that's what we're looking, is the process of analyzing a security's historical prices in an effort to determine probable future prices, right? So enough said there. Let's dive into Metastock. So here's Metastock right here, and we're going to go through some really cool things here. We're going to show you how to analyze a security. And the first security that we're looking at, I just randomly brought up Gilead, and this is a bar chart. We're looking at a daily chart right here, and you can easily change that, just right down there in the corner. So Metastock has over 300 different trading strategies it comes with, as you can see right here. And I'm going to show you how to use some of these today and kind of analyze some stocks and do things like that. So we're going to grab the MACD and we're going to throw it up here in its own window. And we're going to do a little bit of analysis. When the MACD came out years and years ago, people thought this was the end all be all. And there's no perfect trading system. Let's be completely honest right now. You're going to lose sometimes in the market, and that's okay. And there's going to be times you win in the market, and obviously we want to win more than we lose. But let's set that right expectation. So right here, as you can see, what happens is these are two moving averages, okay? And all a moving averages is you're looking at a moving average of the price of a chart. And when those two cross is when you buy and when you sell, you do things like that. And you can put these on the chart and you can do some analysis that way and kind of look at the different things that are coming in here. Well, the difference is you're sitting here going, well, did I make money doing this? Did I lose money doing that? That's what I'm interested in. And so there's easy ways to kind of go through this and look at different indicators. The first thing that we're going to look at here is our expert advisor. The expert advisor is going to do a few things for you inside of your analytics. One, it's going to give you buy and sell signals automatically on your chart based on these indicators. And then what it's going to do, it's going to provide commentary to tell you the technical state of your chart. And then it's going to provide alerts if you want to, obviously put alerts on your chart. And we can come in here and we can go, well, let's look at the MACD, right? We're going to come in here and we're going to see that. We're going to look at that. We're going to attach that. And then instantly you get buy and sell signals, right? And this is just based on the MACD that's there. And we can right click on a chart. And we can go to our commentary. This is a super cool part. Over here on the right-hand side, you're going to see, upside down black triangle. And that's specifying the day that we're looking at, right? And we can go back and forth and we can come underneath here and say, back here on this day, on August 27th, what occurred? And it will show us the statistics. It'll say, hey, the MACD can provide buy and sell indications in 3 ways, signal line crossovers, overbought, sold. And it's going to then go into specific information about these crossovers. It's going to go into specific information about the overbought, oversold, and the divergence, okay? And this is really cool because this is based off the creator of these indicators. This isn't just Metastock saying, hey, this is a really great indicator. What this is, all these different trading strategies are based on numerous individuals that have created them. And then what we do is we allow you a spot to build on it. I like to describe Metastock as a toolbox. And that toolbox will let you take any kinds of different indicators and put those on. If you're a Forex trader, you're going to use different tools than a stock trader. But what we do is we provide all of those tools for you in one place. So as you can see in here, here's the MACD, and you can buy and sell. The MACD, there's two different type of trading systems out there. There's oscillating trading systems, there's trending ones. This one is really good for trending. If your stock starts oscillating like right in here, you're going to not do well. Whereas right here, when it starts trending, here and here, that's where you make a lot of money based on something like a MACD. The reason why I bring this up is every trading system has weak systems or weak spots in it and strong spots. And so you want to know what happens, because if you start getting into an oscillating market and you're trading a trending indicator, trading system, you're going to be in for a little bit of pain there. So let's drop this one and we'll bring up another one to kind of just show you how to use this. So right in here, we'll come in here, we're going to shut this down. And we're still looking at the chart. If you wanted to change these bars into a candlestick chart, candle volume, equivolume line, Kagi, we have so many different options there. But another popular one are candlesticks. Candlesticks are, if it's a dark candle, that means it's a down day. If it's a clear candle, it's an up day. It's a very easy way to see, if the market's performing up or down. And then there's a lot of candlestick patterns out there, and we can go back to our expert advisor and we can come in here and say candlesticks. Let's attach that. We'll close it. And then it'll show you all the specific candlestick patterns on your chart. So, there's a lot of weird names out there with these. Let's bring in the commentary.
They literally need to do a dictionary just explaining all the crazy things that they use in trading.
Oh, Chris, you're exactly right. And it was so funny because we were meeting with a guy named Greg Morris. He uses Metastock, and he uses it to trade billions of dollars in different funds that he manages. And he actually wrote a book on some of the chart patterns. And we were in a big traders conference, and he started laughing at the crowd. And he goes, "Hey, look." He goes, "I wrote a book on this and I don't even know all of them." Right. And so, Chris, to your point, you are exactly right. But, you look right here at an engulfing bull pattern, you don't know what it is. And that's why this is so important, because the expert advisor can be like, well, here's what an engulfing bullish line is. Here's what the pattern means. And so this is how you would trade off of it, and really helps the user out there that's maybe newer to the market understand some of these trading systems that really big institutional traders and really great retail traders are using. And so now you're sitting there going, well, this is cool to see buy and sell patterns, but I want to see if this makes money, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to that system tester. And the system tester, what that does is it goes back on a historical way, and it'll show you from an accounting point of view, would I have made money or lost money trading these systems over a specific amount of time. And I remember before I started using Metastock that, wow, you know what I mean? You would just trade and you thought you had it right, but you really didn't know. And so what you can do in here is you can come in and you can look at the different specific securities. You can take a whole index. And so before I got on today, here's all the different trading systems there that you can back test against. You can also create your own. So if you're going to get this software and you're going to go, man, these systems are cool, but if I tweak it just a little, I think it would perform better. And so that's what we do is, we can actually even help you create a trading system as well, but we have these built-in ones. And so I selected those, and then I selected the NASDAQ 100, and I did a back test. And so let me show you what that kind of looks like and how it helps you. Let me get a drink of water here. So for example, I took 26 different trading systems and I said, hey, I'm going to trade all of these on the NASDAQ 100. And the first one that comes in is this pattern trading system 1 results. And the green is profitable. Again, the red is unprofitable. And you come in here and you say, okay, well, the highest performer is Tesla. What a shock, right? The next one is AMD, Lululemon. So, I mean, just for fun, you can come in here and go, well, let's take a look at Lululemon, right? We'll come in here and we can find out what our profit was, what the buy and hold profit was, our trade summary. It tells you over 4 years. So I should back up for a minute. I set up the trading scenario to go back 4 years of daily data. And that's about 1,000 daily bars. Okay. And I started with $30,000, and I took both long and short trades. And so now it comes in, it says over 4 years. So if you think about 130 trades, you're sitting there going, well, 130 trades sounds like a lot, but once you base it after 4 years, it's about a trade every 10 days, which isn't, too much. And so right here, we come in and we say, oh, wow, we made 90 profitable trades, and 43 of those were unprofitable. It shows us what our drawdowns were and those types of things. But there's a lot of data here for those guys that really love to trade. And so by looking at this and putting in your trading systems, you can find out if you made money, lost money, things like that. And so this is really great for that trader out there. It builds confidence. This doesn't mean that your next 133 trades are going to go the exact same way. But what it's showing us is that Lululemon and the PS pattern trading system are a really good match, right? That doesn't mean PS pattern trading system is going to match well with Ford, and you have to test them out that way. And then you have 5 buttons up top here. And the one that I really like to look at is the equity. This shows us what the equity line looks like. And you want a slow, steady. There's a drawdown here, but overall, it's done okay. And you see, especially in the beginning, how that looks. Let me show you another way that we can do this. So we come in here and we're going to view this report. Let's come down here let's look at, for example, the long sell, short sell 5-day. So we're going to double click in there, and that's just a specific trading system. This is super cool because you can come in here and it says, hey, Tesla long sell, short sell 5-day is an oscillating trading system. So if your stock is trending, you're going to get really hurt using this specific trading system. And Tesla, as we know, has been trending, right? It's not just oscillating. And so that's why this specific trading system didn't work well on Tesla. But if you select Tesla and then you click view all results, it will actually show you every trading system that we tested against Tesla. And it says, oh, well, if you would have traded the fractal trading system too, there were 24 trades and it was a 205% gain, right? And then we can go back in here and you can test that again. You can come in here and say, well, let's take a look at, let's come in here and we'll look at DocuSign, right? Well, let's look at the top. Come in here and it performs on Micron, right? Come in here and you say, oh, it made 6,500, 21% interest. There were 127 trades for that much profit. That's not worth it to me. So I wouldn't do it. And then I want to look at my equity line. And if my equity line looks like this, that's garbage. So I would never trade that system with that specific security. And so that's how you can kind of come in here and you can use all these different specific tools to find out. And what a great idea, right? You're sitting in your chair right now, listening to the webinar, which I really do appreciate. And thanks for being there. But you're saying to yourself, there's one reason why you tuned in today. And the reason you tuned in today is you want to learn how to make more money. And so with that, you can say in here, well, I can use all these different trading systems to do that and try and become a much better trader out there. And so the back tester will help you build that confidence in taking a specific trading system against any specific securities that are out there. And then you can do a specific date range right here. You can do a specific interval out there. You can do long and short trades. You come in here, you can say, I want to do a points only test. If you were a Forex trader, that is probably something you'd want to look at because you're trading something called pips, and pips are worth more than a point move on a stock trade. You can put in here margin requirements, commissions, trade execution, things like that. So It's a very, very strong tool that we're looking at. Okay. So now you wake up in the morning and you say, you're sitting back and you're looking at this, you say, wow, well, that's pretty cool that you can do there. And you showed me some buy and sell signals and some commentary. But, let's say I wake up today, I'm going to test your software out. I want to try it. And we have a really great offer at the end that makes it super easy for you to try this out. But let's say you want to do, you wake up and it's Thursday morning tomorrow and you say, well, I want to look at specific trading systems that are matching the markets out there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a specific trading system. And let's come in here. Let's go. I have it up here. Oh,
Hey,
good. I can
Scott,
move
one
that.
thing too, I was thinking as we're
Yeah, go
doing
ahead,
this,
Chris.
this is great for like a really experienced investor like myself, like Sodi, professional traders. But what about the average person who's maybe got a TD Ameritrade account, a Scott Trade, or not Scott
Yes.
Trade, a Schwab
Yes.
account, and they're just thinking, all right, well, this stuff oscillating and all this,
Yeah.
I'm looking at Joseph over here, who's our in-studio guest, and his head's about ready to explode. Like,
Yeah.
how do we bring this down to like a very simple level where just someone that's just kind of like, I just want to make some extra money.
Yeah.
I want to toy around with this. I don't need to know all the specifics, but how do I just use this tool to do that?
And so you actually just put me into my next spot that I'm going to.
That wasn't planned, folks.
Yeah, I know.
I
It
just
wasn't
watched
planned at
Joseph's
all.
head like almost go
Yeah.
on fire.
Yeah. So the really cool part would be we actually ship the software with built-in trading systems. And this is one of our most popular trading systems out there. And it's called the RMO. And the way that the RMO came about is we have resellers all over the world, right? We have they're just all over. And one of the smartest individuals I know and traders is a gentleman named Rahul Mohindar. And he was selling Metastock out there. And I know you'll find this shocking, but years ago, remember when we used to have CDs and you'd have to put the CD into your computer and things like that? Well, people would pirate the software. And India was a horrible place for this that was going on. And so Rahul said, I'm going to build a trading system that's piracy protected and they have to buy from me. And what happened after 4 years, his sales doubled every year because of this specific trading system here. And it's super easy, so easy to do. And I'm going to show you how to trade it. So for example, we're looking at Bitcoin right here, right? I know that's a huge buzz, crypto's big buzz. And people are like, well, how do I trade it? I don't, don't you just buy it and it goes up type of idea? Well, let me show you kind of how you trade this specific security. So let's say you're a Bitcoin trader and you want to use the RMO. You get this, and this works on anything. We can pull up another stock and we will, just to show you how it goes. There's 3 things you need to know about this specific trading strategy to buy or to sell. To buy, the first thing we're looking at, this is just some green lines up top. And this is a green oscillator. It's the RMO. And when this is above 0 is when you buy. When this is below 0, you sell and go short. Simple, right? Down here, you need to have a buy arrow and a blue bar and this above 0 to buy. If you want to go short, you need this. You need a red arrow, a red bar, and this below 0. That's it. Okay, super easy. So we're going to go all the way back to, let's say, July here of 2020, and you're trading Bitcoin, and we buy it at 9,275. Okay. So we buy it and we come along here. And now some of the people that are sitting there going, well, wait, we would have sold here because there's a red arrow and a red bar. But remember, guys, this is still above 0. So why that's above 0, this, you can't accomplish that and you can't go short. You need all 3 things to happen. So we keep coming in here. We have a buy arrow. We're still long. And so at, what was it, 9,700? And we take it all the way to here. So we buy and we go from 9,000 to 56,000. Not bad, right?
Good day in
from
the office.
yeah, great day in the office. And you get out in May of this year. So it was a long-term trade, but you went from 9,000 to 56,000. Do the math on that, right? You made a lot of money. We exit the market right here. We now have a red arrow. It goes below zero and we have a red bar, right? So with that, now we're at 54,000 and we've gone short, or if you just don't want to, you went to 33,000. So from May all the way to here to July, you made another 21,000 off of that, right? That's just one Bitcoin. If you had multiple, obviously you're making a lot more. And then right here, we have a blue arrow, a blue bar, and we shoot above zero, right? So we keep it going and we buy in right here, 34,000, and we make it all the way up to here. And where are we at right now? We're at what, 60?
63, I think.
Yeah, we're at 60. It's live right now and you can see it. 62,529. And so you went from 33, 34 up to 62 again. So 9,000 to 56,000. Then you went from short 54,000 to 33,000. And then, or 34,000. Then we went from 34,000 to 62,000. Whereas most traders, I mean, you'd been thrilled to go 9,000 to 62,000 right now. But by taking this out and going short, or just even getting out of the trade, obviously, you saved yourself 21,000, you bought back in and you got in at 33 and you rode it all the way up to 62.
You know what's interesting? Somebody could use this software because there is a ton of people looking for like, all right, where do I buy Bitcoin? Where do I sell it? And I'm just looking at this now. I'm pretty boring when it comes to crypto trading because I'm scared to death of the whole thing. But I've been trading Bitcoin and I've been trading support and resistance levels, not using this software. But I'm looking at a trade that I made a couple of weeks ago, actually, and you can see right here, it was that 41 mark where it dropped, and you kind of came down and it hit the red right there.
Yes.
But we didn't dip below. That's where I entered, and then
awesome.
I actually exited up right about that red arrow. But by looking at this, I exited too early. I should have stayed in the trade because we're still at the very top. The Raul's RMO says that I should, still above that line. I should have held it, which this would have been helpful. I sold and, hey, I'm not upset because I made money, but this, if somebody just got the software and just used it to trade just one thing and became an expert in that one thing, I think sometimes we try to do too many things. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. And then all of a sudden we do nothing well because we can't focus on it. But Bitcoin is such a big thing right now that if somebody just used this for Bitcoin, can you do Ethereum on this as well?
Let me see if I can pull that up.
I wonder, here. I obviously not the shit coins. We don't want to monkey with those.
No, we don't.
Shibu Ibu, I think is the main.
Yeah. Well, that means nothing, or Doge. I mean, people made a ton of money.
Oh my goodness, they are. Yeah, they're making a boatload of cash.
But someone will be left holding the bag, right?
Always.
So here's Ethereum. Yeah, and so, I mean, here you go. We can start you right here. It goes from October 3,200 all the way, from October 2nd to November 3rd. You made $1,300 right there.
Wow.
And then here's another trade, right there. You went from 2153. Well, actually, you pretty much went from 2153 all the way up to 4,500. Right in here, you could argue to me that you got out right there, which is fine. I moved it over a little. But let's say we went 2153 to 2,800. You made 700 points. You get back in right here, 3,200. You made another 1,300 points. And it's strong right now based on a daily chart. You know what I mean? It's still going up.
Yeah, no, just those two alone, gosh, this is something I talk to so many people, but everybody I talk to about Bitcoin or Ethereum, they're just buying it because their neighbor said, oh, this is good. You
100%.
Nobody's buying
Yes.
on actual
Yes.
metrics or
Yes.
actual signals or
Yes.
technicals. The
Yeah.
big guys, I suppose, are, but
Yes.
I think like that's what I was kind of trying to get to is like, you could pick just one stock or one position like, Bitcoin or Ethereum and literally just use this software and just get really
Yeah.
just really finite good at looking at this one chart here. And then you'd make a boatload of money.
Oh,
I mean, it's so volatile. You'd make a ton of money
yes.
in Bitcoin and
Yeah.
Ethereum.
Yeah. I mean, you just look at really since the end of August here, and it really did. It took you up from 2153, and it told you to get in at 2153, and then you rode it all the way up to 4,500. So you've more than doubled, what it is there. And so you're exactly right, Chris. There's no question. Cryptos are so popular right now, especially with the younger crowd. And what they don't understand is this stuff goes up and down. And have a great trading system there that can do it. Let's put a stock up here real quick, just to, let's go Microsoft, for example. And we'll open that up and you can see how it works on a stock. So maybe your crypto's not your thing, right? But, let's take a look here at Microsoft. And for example, our last buy signal, my pictures are right here. So I'm going to see if I can move them. Oh, perfect. Now I can see my whole screen. Okay. So right here, look, it goes above zero right here. I have a buy arrow and then a blue bar. So I can get on. It doesn't have to happen on the same bar. It just needs to happen before, obviously a red arrow, red bar. So we would get in at 251, right? And we come up here and it drops a little, but guess what? We're still in the trade because the oscillator is above zero. So you rode it all the way from 251 to 332, right? You're looking at an $81 move there. And if you bought in at 251, you made 30% just right here. And then you can kind of go back and see, it's still so bullish, and it called it. Look at that at the top. It's saying, basically back here, we would have bought in somewhere around in here at 105 back in 2020. And then look at that. You were long 105 all the way really to kind of right in here, which is 217. So you more than doubled your money. And then you rode it up from 217 all the way up to here, somewhere right in here, 217, 249. So you made another 32. You jump in and you've taken it again, another $80 there. And so it's really good trading system. And this specific trading system is included, inside of Metastock. And it's a really, really great trading system. As you can see, we looked at Ethereum, we looked at two cryptos. We looked at Microsoft. So a thing that you might be super interested in if you're sitting there is you're going to go, well, how can I find buy or sell examples right now for these? So tomorrow morning, this is what you could do. You can come in here and go, okay, let me first erase some of these. Okay. So I come down here and we look at the RMO, and I want to find anything with the RMO bullish zone above zero. I want to find anyone with a blue bar, and I want to find that buy arrow. Okay. So I'm looking for these three criterias in the market, and I can come then over here and say, well, let's look at, let's just do the S&P. Let's do the S&P 500, right? I start my exploration. And this is now super, super cool because what it's going to do, it's going to analyze and go through the whole S&P 500. So 500 stocks. I could have done this also on optionable stocks. A lot of people, if you're out there trading and you want to be a stock trader, Optionable stocks, when you scan against those, is a really great thing to do. But we're doing the S&P 500, and it's going to come out and it's going to show me every single stock out of 500 securities that have the RMO above zero, a blue arrow, and a blue bar as of today, right? If I was trading tomorrow morning, it could show it, obviously tomorrow, because that's a hard thing, Chris. A lot of people that trade, they don't know what to trade, and they don't know when to trade. They don't know when to get in. They don't know when to get out. And as you can see from these examples that we're showing you of Microsoft or Bitcoin, we're showing you that you should be able to, there are points that are opportunities of buying and selling. Does that mean it's always right? No. You will have some losing trades, right? But the point is, if you can absolutely get into these, analyze these simple things, this RMO is so simple to do. We have tons of videos of Rahul himself doing this, right on our website that you can get for free, and he'll show you, more how to do it. But you can take an out of the box trading system instantly and be trading, right away. Obviously, you want to know a little bit more, do a little bit more research about it. But here it comes. It's analyzed these. It's rejected 95% of them, and now it's rejecting still that many based on that. And then we'll have a list of all the stocks that absolutely fit our criteria. So we're looking at 5 years of data, and it's showing us on the bullish zone one, there were 160 rejects. When there was a blue bar, 482 of those were rejected, and 482 of the swing trade arrows. So you can come in here and you can say, oh, okay, well, here's buy arrows for, that are available on the S&P 500. And then what you can do is you can come in here and say, well, I want to look at Discovery. I want to look at Kimberly Clark. And now you have an opportunity. You know exactly what is, popping right now if you wanted to go long based on the RMO trading system. Okay. So another thing that we do really, really cool is we've created something called the forecaster. And the forecaster is very unique to Metastock. We have a patent on it. And what happened is that back tester that I showed you how to, if you made money or you would lose money, is the same guy that created this. So some background on myself. I've been in with Metastock for over 20 years. I started out in Metastock just as an average sales guy, and I worked my way up into, whether it's being product development, product management, and eventually sales marketing. And then I became president of the company. And then 8 years ago, I bought the company. I bought it from a company named Thomson Reuters. And when I bought it, I knew there was much more analytics out there that we could create. And so what we wanted to do was we actually wanted to create a forecast cloud where the user out there that could just pull up a stock. And so we're going to actually kind of look at that right now. And you're going to see we're looking, this first one is Bitcoin. Okay. And this is just a chart of Bitcoin right here. And these little yellow triangles are event markers. And right here are all the separate, trading systems that we look at with the forecaster. And then what we do is you can actually come in here and say, all these different recognizers, I want to look at highest profit potential only ones, most accurate, most pronounced, most distinct, most recent event, most events. So I'm going to click most events, and we're going to be looking at, let's say, this CCI oversold, which is just a commodity channel index. And now this is super, super cool what you're about to see, and no one else has this in the world, where we can click on when one of those events triggered, and it will draw a cloud into the future as to where that stock was going to go, right? So you can come in here and you can say, I want to look at a 30-day cloud. I want to look at a 90-day cloud or a 180-bar cloud. So right here, it's going to draw out a 90-day cloud. Wow, that looks pretty cool. And I'm going to explain to you what's happening right now. So on this date, October 27th, we got an event marker. And what happens is it will draw this cloud into the future, and it will do it without any of these bars there. So you're looking at what would have occurred then. And then right here is our probability scale. In that probability scale, the brighter the color, the higher and greater chance you have of success. And so when it's yellow, that's a high degree of probability that it's going to go through. But what's super cool is back here, if you look at it, you know what it is. It says, well, it's going to slightly go up, and it does. Now, this purple is right there, and you're saying, well, it's a 60% probability that it's going to fly through. Well, if you would have known that, wouldn't you love to, if we're looking at a stock, trade options on this, right? Where you could buy a lot of options super cheap and have the opportunity to buy that out. And so there's so many cool things that you can do with this, but as you can see, you click on these specific clouds. The latest one here, it shows that it's going to go up, and look, it followed it pretty well right there. And so it's showing you what's happening moving into the future. And then the latest one is right there. Now, some of you are going to go, well, we get all of these bars of data. We get new bars of data every day. And so if you click right there just on the forecast cloud, this cloud actually changes, kind of like AI, right? You get new data being brought into this all the time. And so it's telling you over the next 7 days, over the next 14 days, over the next 30 days, it's still saying, hey, look, there's a good chance that it could be up 2.5% in the next 30 to 60 days. And that is a really great tool to have because all of us want to know kind of what's moving on into the future. So here's a chart of Apple, and we're just going to do the exact same thing, and we'll show you. Let's come in here. We'll look at most events. I like to look at those. You need to have at least 5 events on your chart for it to draw a cloud. And obviously we have a lot of different ones here. Here's Candlesticks ones. Here's Stochastics. And you can see how the different clouds or events that come on there. But the first one is one I created, and it's named Metastock. And you can come in here and you can go, whoa, Apple's all over the board, right? It's going up, it's going down. Let's look at a 30-day cloud here. We can just randomly pick one. And you can see it comes through here. Now, it's not always correct, right? It's not going to mirror it perfect. Nothing will. This is a predictor. It's a forecaster. But as you can see here, you can go, well, let's look at a 90 bar, whichever one you kind of want to look at. Here's an example of one that wasn't tied all the way in there, right? So let's come in here. We want to look at a most accurate current forecast, right? And let's look at one. The more event markers on there, the better it is. Man, there's not a ton of event markers for Apple. Jeez. So, as I analyze this, I'm not a huge fan because statistically speaking, when there's only 11 markers for 5 years of data, that doesn't bring me enough confidence. So here's something that you can do. So there's going to be individuals out there that love to trade with patterns, and we're the only software out there that can do this. So I can come in here and say, Chris, you're going to be famous. Well, you already are famous, but in the technical analysis world, when we release something like this, but you can come in here and go, I want to look at a pattern that goes something like that. And I just drew that with my mouse, right? I can create any pattern I want with a mouse, and there's no one in the world that does that. And we've created the patent for that. And you can come in here and say, okay, so here's my original pattern. I'm going to save that. We're going to come in here and we're going to say, well, let's see how the Chris pattern performed here. And we can come in here and rescan the selected analysis. And it says, hey, you've had a few hits on it, but you've only had 4 of those. Match confidence. So here is something I think that's even cooler than that. So we can come in here and we can say, there's so many traders out there that they look for 3 or 4 or 5 bars. And those 3, 4, or 5 bars are what they want to trade off. It gives them their buy signal. So let's say these bars right here are Chris's bars that he loves to trade on. We highlight those. We're going to create a new pattern here. And we're going to name this Chris Naugle 1. And we're going to save that and we're going to scan that. And now look at that. You can see like, oh, wow, look at all these patterns. There's 95% match. There's a greater than 95% match. And it goes through all of these things. And you say, okay, oh, I accidentally hit here's an 87% match. Wow, you can see the Chris Naugle 1 pattern is doing quite well. You know, it's calling these performances out much better. And it's saying based on his patterns, you know, the Apple, you know, over the long term, maybe 60 to 90 days, you have a chance of that to go 1 or 2% up. Okay. So really what we do here is in that forecaster, we allow a user to select a specific trading system and find out in the future where it's based and where it's going to go off of based on complex math statistics and those types of things. And that's kind of what we're looking at here. And then you can come back into Metastock and you can do your different analysis. So you're right, Chris, there's no question that from the beginning to the end, we have a toolbox that's available to everyone. So if you're an experienced trader, you're trading billions or millions of dollars, we have what you need. If you're a brand new trader and you want to just trade our out of the box, you know, trading systems, the RMO is so brilliant, you know, for you. And as we showed you with 3 different securities based on the RMO, each of those did quite well. Again, I want to be very clear, and Chris knows this better than anyone. There's no guarantee, right? I'm not here to say this is how it is and this is perfect. And, you know, but what I've shown you, it can work. And so, you know, that's one of the things that we're after. And so, Chris, I know that it was about an hour. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I can kind of go through an offer for them or you know, the support that we offer.
I think that's a good idea to talk about the offer. I think, you know, there's just so much, you know, in the stock world. A lot of people believe the markets are, you know, definitely, you know, in a very speculative state. I mean, the hockey stick is undeniable, you know, you can see. So it's just kind of like, all right, how much further does this go? This tool helps a lot. But I think, you know, the big thing that like a lot of people lit up on was the Bitcoin and the crypto side.
Yeah.
Like, I was wondering if you were going to go there because I didn't even know that the software would, you know, show that. I think that can be incredibly helpful, especially right now and with what's going to happen in the future with Bitcoin. Man, that's just going to be incredibly powerful. And I think, you know, just looking at just this one feature of using this right here, you know, to trend your Bitcoin purchases, if that's all somebody was doing, because really, if you think about it, most coins are correlated to Bitcoin,
absolutely.
Ethereum. It just seems like they're all trending the
Yep.
same direction. When Bitcoin drops, the others drop. When Bitcoin goes up, the others go up. It's like clockwork. So using this to kind of just finite get into the Bitcoin world, which everybody's, you know, talking about, man, it's undeniable that that is one hell of a tool to use for that. So let's talk about the offer and then let's get into some questions about how different people could use this.
Let me go back to that.
I know Sodi was really excited about this when he first saw it. I mean, he's our trader and runs 1010 trading systems. And, you know, he loved it because, you know, he's a very advanced trader. He doesn't need tools, but for the average person, he's teaching how to trade options or add hedges.
Yeah.
This just provided a really easy way for him to just kind of say visually, here's what you're looking for. Here are the signals, the buys, the sells, and
Yep.
here's the different technical indicators laid over it. So you can see the impact of these arrows to how these technical indicators work. And sometimes it just has a click in someone's mind. They're like, oh my God, I see it. Because a
Yeah.
lot of times that's all it is.
Yeah. And you're exactly right, Chris. I mean, we have, again, hundreds of thousands of users all over the world. And that's really what they're looking at. You know, they're finding something that matches their trading style, what they want to do. And if you are into crypto, I'm telling you, you hit it right on the head, Chris, because people just want to get in because the taxi driver's talking about it, the neighbor's talking about it. It's so big that it's almost to a, you know, it almost makes you fearful that everybody's into it, because I call that the taxi cab indicator. As soon as they start talking about it, I sell, because
Heck yeah, that's the shoe
the
shine boy
world's in there
story.
now, right?
Yeah, the
And,
Kennedy shoe shine boy story. I
yeah,
mean, that's the
yeah,
taxi cab story or the Uber story
yeah,
now.
yeah. You're exactly right. So here's a last quote from Shares Magazine, which is obviously a very, very popular magazine. Metastock is a program that is so powerful that many of the world's largest brokers have the system installed as part of their dealing rooms. Add to this that it is the most widely used program around the globe, and the numbers clearly show the versatility and power available. So I've literally shown you, I bet, 10% of Metastock, and so there's so much more that's there. So how much does it cost? If you're a real-time trader,
Mhm.
an individual that is stay home and trading nonstop, a day trader, then we have a Metastock in our data. It's $250 a month. Okay. And some of you might be thinking, oh, that's quite a bit of money. But as you look at those trades that you make, I mean, one trade with that Bitcoin, and you paid for that for many years, right? Our end of day is much more geared to that beginning trader. You're going to have that daily data that we were just looking at with specifically different trades, and it's only $69 a month. That includes all of the Metastock, all of your data, all of those things right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to give everybody a buy 1 month, get 2 free. So if you're interested in this, it's very simple. And where you can go is that link right there. It's the www.metastock.com/money school 3-for-1. And I have that also at the very end. And all you have to do is type that in. You can even chat into us. You can call in, and we'd be more than happy to help you, get that going. But it brings you to a page. Let me.
How many screens are you staring at?
Oh, too many. Too many.
I just saw that. I'm like, wait, one,
Oh,
two, three, four. I thought you
yeah.
had four. And then I'm thinking, no, he's
Yeah,
counting four.
yeah, the traders, it's horrible. But this will be your page, and it's super simple. And you just say, click right here to get 3 months of the daily charts, or get 3 months of for the price of one. And so super easy to do. And we can help you, get that going and move that around. And then you also get access to, we have free professional support. You can call anytime. We can actually even take your computer over for you to show you different things. Or if you want to create your own trading systems, things like that, we have phone chat, tons of online videos. If you are really, keen on that RMO training, we have free videos right on our website with Rahul himself doing the training on that. And then, here's that right there. So you can just kind of see that as it goes. And then I guess any questions, Chris, you guys may have? Or...
Yeah, so let's get some questions popping off here. Let me move to some things around because there are some questions here. And I was holding them to the end, but we'll just fire these off right now. So Dolly Dolly was just saying, great. Jim was asking, you mentioned FX. Can you show a couple of pairs and
Yeah.
how this software works with that? Also, is it able to be used for futures? Now, futures is something we love. I'd be curious to know that. I'm sure Sodi already asked you about futures.
Yeah, 100%. We have all the futures that you can imagine. We provide data, I mean, literally for like Malaysian rubber trees, right? We have all of the futures commodities, whether it's the E-minis, whatever you want to trade, we have that data, right? Euro, I think I can get it to it
I'm not
this
mistaken, when I
way.
first saw this, I think it was 2008. I think we were trading the US dollar convergence point with the euro. And I remember it required me getting up at like 3 or 4 in the morning
Oh, I
every
know,
day.
right?
It was a very
It's
profitable thing, but it was just like,
brutal.
holy crap, I
It's
can't do it.
brutal. So here's the euro US dollar. And I mean, the guy that asked the question, I think, is really going to love this
Yeah, Jim.
chart. And so right here, we would get in, right? There's our buy, there's our sell arrow, and we're going short. And if you're trading Forex, super easy to go short, right? It's not even it's super, super easy. So the trader that asked can obviously go short. We would be going short. Let's take a gander here. So we'd be going at 121.3, and you're short all the way down to 115.8. Now remember, one move right there, one little move, it's called a pip, and that's $10, right, on a regular contract there. So if you went all the way from there to there, that's one of the largest moves for a FX trader out there. I mean, you would be sitting very, very pretty. You would have made a ton of money, right? Just tons of money on that trade right here.
So let's
And,
just,
and I mean, I want to bring this up too, Chris, is I don't know what you're going to ask. I didn't know euro dollar is going to be so awesome to look at, right? It's not like this is I don't believe in those, pre-made presentations where I'm only going to show you what looks good, right? And so I'm really appreciative of that question. You can see it in action. You can see right here, you would have bought, low here, you would have sold all the way up there and made money. You went short again right here. Great opportunity, thousands of dollars. And then, back here, you're seeing, I mean, a great move right here. So there's money to be made. Again, you're not going to hit it big every trade. Let's be clear. But if you have one of these trades right there and you're an FX trader, you're out of I mean, come on, right? That's the best trade that the question whoever asked that would have ever had, right?
absolutely. So Jim, if you have any additional questions, just chime in. I think that's definitely, I mean, the US dollar and the euro is just what I used to trade. I hated it, but I made a lot of money doing it, but it just required getting up in the middle of the night. So this is much easier way to do it. As you saw, I mean, my gosh, Jim, I hope you were in that trade.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Wes said, where are the events pulled from? The stock market, news sources? Yeah, I was curious about that too.
Okay.
Like, what are the events?
So the events are, for example, let's do this. Okay. So this is one that we have up right now. And it's just taking a sec. So every time you get one of these buy or sell signals, there was a candlestick pattern that had triggered. If we go to the forecaster, so that might even be a little bit clearer to you guys.
I just saw it. Yeah, it was the events were just candlestick events. Really, it was just,
yes. So right here, every time that the CCI oversold security triggered a buy or sell, that's why you got an event. So it's just based off of this right here, the CCI oversold, which again, the CCI stands for the Commodity Channel Index. So if you were to come down here to the moving average 310 cross up, every time that moving average crossed is when you're getting one of these events. So these events are technical events that are occurring on your chart based on these specific trading systems.
Perfect. All right, that was a great explanation. A lot of people asking about, a lot of chats coming in, like they love that Bitcoin stuff, but like how do they know what coins would be able to be pulled up on here? Because there's new ones.
Yeah,
just stuff that goes onto the exchange.
we don't have 100%. You can bring, so there's two parts to this answer. We only provide major data for the major coins, right? Like if you want to, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of coins. If you can get that data into an Excel format, we can actually put it inside of Metastock. So if you are into the Shiba or something like that, and you want to be caught holding the bag, you heard it here first. You will absolutely, you can put that data in here, but we only provide, on demand, the major coins.
Yeah. So Stefan, hopefully that helps you a little bit to understand, there's so many coins out there and most of them are absolute, excuse my language, but dog shit. I say it all the time. And somebody's going to get left with the bag and it's going to suck. It's happened so many other times. Just look at the .com crash.
It's a pump and dump scheme. I'm telling you, it's there's no value for those coins. There's no value.
There's no fundamentals behind any of it. I mean, Shibu, even Shibu, I know Duck V's all over it, but you gotta, if you really listen to Duck V talking about it, like, well, hopefully he follows through with what he said. There's an entry and an exit point. Like he's playing levels there, and he's not just in it for the long haul thinking, oh, it's going to go to the moon.
Yes.
So hopefully
because it can't.
No, it won't, and Doge won't, and maybe Bitcoin probably has the best chance, but it
100%.
Bitcoin will not become the next U.S. digital currency. U.S. will create a digital currency and try to make Bitcoin illegal, which will probably drive the price of Bitcoin up. To be honest,
you never
just
know.
Like gold. So Tom said, "What minimum level of investor to use this software?" So Tom, we kind of already talked about that. It's pretty much any investor, from the most advanced like Sodi to the person literally that just opened a TD Ameritrade account or just opened a Schwab account. You're sitting in the money and you're looking at it going, I don't know what to do with this. And then you just apply this software and you just pick, the biggest advice I can give, just trading. I've been trading now for almost 20 years. The best thing you can do is pick stocks of companies you just love. Like I'm an Apple guy. I love Apple. I love Steve Jobs. I love like Elon Musk. So Tesla, although I'm not trading either. I have no stocks right now, but it's just when I do trade, I trade stocks I love. Cryptos like Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only two my ears just ring at a high vibration when anyone says anything other than Bitcoin or Ethereum. So just pick things you love and then use the software to really solidify your entry and exit points. And, kind of that forecaster was cool. Use that to know where it's going to go. That'll just give you that, I don't know, I'll call it the investor, sentiment, the investor confidence boost, but just don't get greedy in this market right now. Cindy asked, can we use this? Can we use these features on wealth charts? I'm not really sure what that is.
So wealth charts is another software out there, and it's no, you can't. I mean, basically the RMO is only in Metastock. The forecaster is only in Metastock. So no, you can't use all of those things. Great part is if you want to try us out, you get it, especially the end of day, it's $69 for three months. I mean, that averages, $23 a month, which is nothing, and gives you a chance to really try it out for 3 months and give it a go, right? See if you're making money on it. If not, cancel.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the beauty of software. Like you try it for a few months. If it works for you, like, cool, I'm keeping this forever. Or, hey, maybe it just wasn't for me.
It just wasn't. It wasn't for me.
These next questions are just, I knew we'd get a lot of stuff on this, but Jennifer, who has been trading, she said, which option of the two that you had is better if you're interested in crypto trading? So, we had, if we can pull that screen up, the one with two different options, because the next two questions, I should say, are about, those two options, which one's better? Because the next one, Jamie said, does the RMO work with both packages?
Oh, great question. And I should have been very clear about that. So yes, the RMO works in both of them. The difference of these two packages, it's very easy to know. One of them provides real-time data and news and market data. That's this one right here. That's the Metastock RT. And that'll provide you tick charts, minute charts, 60-minute charts. This one right here will provide you daily charts. So you'll be trading off of daily bars, weekly, monthly. If you want to trade something as intense as crypto that's open nonstop, you want real time. For sure, you want real time. Because if there's a massive move and you're waiting for a daily bar, you got to remember you're not going to get that data until it closes, right? And then you get a new bar. Whereas if something major happens, and let's be honest, Bitcoin is screaming one way or the other all day, every day. And so you don't want to follow it on a minute chart or something like that. But let me show you how that could look for you in a 60-minute chart. And that's probably what I would recommend. So let's come right here and you can see Bitcoin. And I think we're actually in a daily chart. And if you change that to an hourly chart, this is what it'll look like.
Holy crap, it moves that much hourly?
Absolutely.
Oh, I never looked at it at this level. Like, that's insane. So I bet you there's people trading this every single minute of every
Absolutely.
Look, you could make a ton of money right there.
Yeah. So right here, today you would have gotten 61,132, and you rode it all the way up here to this bar. So you made a $2,000 move right here, and now you're shorting it at, you got in, let's say you shorted it. I get my bubble there. There we go. Anyway, you're getting it in at 63,000, and look at this. Look at that low right there. It dropped all the way to 60 grand.
It's crazy.
And then it popped back up. So you maybe have had a bad tick of data there. But the point is yeah, there's opportunities hourly. You could try 15-minute chart. The problem with going too short, like a tick or a minute, you're going to get whipsawed, and it's going to be really hard to trade it. So I would definitely recommend that 60-minute.
And then Aaron was asking, is this available on an app? So like if they're just on their phone, can they use the software?
Great question. Great question. No, it's not. This is an application. There's so much to it, and it's so big and massive and heavy that it is not an app yet. We are working towards that, but we just don't have that yet. So you could use it on a tablet or something like that, but you can't use it on a phone. It's too powerful for that.
Yeah, so that makes total sense. But I do have good news for you, Aaron. Private Money Club will be available on an app in the near future. So we just launched. Sorry, I had to do a shameless.
No, I love it. I love it, Chris.
So Jim Collins said, this is just analysis, not replacing a broker, correct?
Correct. Correct. We don't do trading through the platform. And so you would definitely still keep your broker and trade through them. This is just pure analytics.
And if any of you know, because, for crypto, for example, Bitcoin, one of the big faults that I found, and maybe it's just because I'm still a student learning about how this all works, is the damn costs for trades. It's silly. Yeah. Absolutely insane how much they charge for trades. So if you were trading, this daily, I mean, yes, you'd make a lot of money, but boy, the Coinbase or wherever you're trading on would also make a lot. The fees are
they would for sure.
And that's the biggest problem. That's why I sort of just trade levels, 40 to 50. And then, now we're kind of making these new levels. So Cindy said, do either packages offer level 4 data? I think the one does.
Your real-time one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Cindy, level 4 is, that's more TD and think or swim. It's just real-time data. So yeah, that is available there. So that's all the questions we had there. Does anyone else have any further questions? I think I'm so glad we went down the crypto road, because that's just an area that no matter what we do, if we're talking about privatized banking, the infinite banking concept, everybody's talking about crypto and Bitcoin. And, if you're in Duck V's group, obviously you're talking about Shibu, Ibu, or whatever.
Yeah.
I always get that one wrong. So just only word of advice, and Duck will tell you, is be careful. That is about as speculative as an investment can ever get. So, remember the old Warren Buffett rules. You buy low, you sell high, and do not lose. Whoop, I just lost my video for some reason. Buy low, sell high, and don't lose money. And when others are greedy, keyword, be fearful. So there's a lot of greed out there right now.
There
folks.
is.
You want to be very fearful, make smart trades, trade with rules, use software like this to make sure you understand entry and exit points based on actual technical data, and always look at fundamentals. Don't just listen to the taxi cab or Uber driver saying, oh my God, did you get into this BUK coin? Now it's all NFTs. You know, it's going to the moon. Probably should stop, research it, and probably don't buy it, because if you're hearing about it from your Uber driver, it's the same as when Kennedy had stock tips given to him by a shoe shine boy.
Yeah.
He went back to his office and sold everything and took short positions. And while you guys know the history, and that day is coming soon. So Scott, I think this was great. We've got the link up there. I'm sure this will be very valuable for a lot of our listeners. You know, some people, it maybe was a bit over your head, or maybe just not applicable. For other people, this is the greatest thing since the toothpick. So
I love it.
So jump on it, folks. Yeah. So there you go. So Jason just came in. Hey, Chris, I'm an Uber driver. Are you giving people advice? I love it, man. We love Uber
that's
drivers.
awesome.
Use them all the time. But make sure if you're giving stock tips, just know if I'm in your car, I'm not going to take them. That's all. Yep. All right. If you like that video, make sure you check out this video right now. And also don't forget, subscribe to my channel, and don't ever forget to smash that alert button. We'll see you on the next one.